But I know that when our students become 18, a lot of them their parents will get guardianship. And so what that means is their rights sort of get taken away and the parents will then keep their rights. So when that happens, the students then automatically qualify for Medicaid. And what Medicaid is insurance. Insurance that they don't pay for, that our students don't pay for. And it is not very good. You don't get to choose your doctor, and you kind of do. There's a few doctors that you get to pick from, but the coverage is not very good. Also, after you turn 18, it doesn't pay for any dental work, so that's pretty terrible too. It does pay for things like wheelchairs, and wheelchairs are expensive, but only one every 5 years. So if your wheelchair breaks in the meantime, they will come out and fix it, but it might not be working very well. So we have that problem here. My mom has Medicaid, and again, she doesn't get to pick her doctor. The pool that she has to choose from is much, much smaller. But even then, it's not very good. So the amount of people you get to choose from is much smaller. Like if you need to have an elective surgery, you may not get to do that. So it's just not nearly as good as private insurance.
So who all qualifies for Medicare and Medicaid?
So Medicaid is for people who are over 65. Medicaid is for students or people who are younger, under 18. Mostly they're, so people who are disabled, they're going to be receiving supplemental insurance or SSI, so they'll get a payment from the government every month to help cover their expenses, to help pay for food and clothing and therapy. They're 18, and if they don't have serious disabilities, they can still get private insurance with their parents. So some kids will get private insurance and they'll have the Medicaid. So that's good. So that they'll be able to do that. Otherwise, you can have government agencies like in Denton County, it's called MHMR. And it's not exactly insurance, but they will help with like therapies and that sort of thing. So it's not health insurance, but it does help take people to like speech therapy and occupational therapy and that sort of thing. It's tricky. It really is tricky. Because I don't know if the government should be taking care of the people with disabilities, or if we should have private companies taking care of people with disabilities. I'm not sure what the answer is. Sometimes I think when we have the government taking care of things, it doesn't work out as well because they're so big. So it's hard for them to see, especially if it's the national government, right? Because they're far away in Washington, and here we are in Texas. So how does Washington know what we need here in Texas? I mean, they don't. They only know what we say. So they're trying to cover the entire country, and I don't know how good of a job they can do. If we have private companies, they're of course much smaller. So they can meet the needs of people with disabilities or just anybody better. But then it's going to cost more, right? The government will do okay. They'll meet their basic needs. But I kind of feel like maybe if like a private company is taking care of people, maybe that'll be better coverage. No, I'm going to just say flat out no, because I think all the people who are on Medicaid or Medicare or any of those, they just need more. They need more services and they need more choices, right? I think in this area, it's very hard to find a doctor who will take Medicaid and Medicare. But I think the doctors get paid less if they're getting paid through the government. So not as many doctors want to take Medicaid and Medicare. So maybe if more doctors had to take Medicaid and Medicare, or maybe if the government paid the doctors more, it would be better. Yeah, my son has Medicaid, and the doctor that he was seeing, she was great. I mean, she was very accommodating. She was very friendly. She worked really hard with us to make sure my son got all the care he needed. But then the clinic closed, and I have no idea what happened to them. So, I mean, that really stinks. Many students receive Medicaid, and so many of the students then will get their equipment through Medicaid. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes they get their wheelchairs and other equipment really quickly, and sometimes it takes a year. And sometimes we can get someone out here to fix the stuff really quickly, and sometimes we have to fix things with zip ties. So it's kind of hit or miss. So I wish it was better. I wish it was quicker. but it isn't always.
In your personal opinion, do you think this is an issue only within the United States, or is it a more worldwide issue, or what do you think in general about the accommodations for the healthcare sector?
Affordability, healthcare.
Yeah.
Well, I do know that in England and Canada, they have the, whatever that is, where the government takes care of all the health care. So sometimes that's good. One of my sisters lives in England, and so like when she needed a surgery, she was able to get in quickly and it didn't cost anything. So like that is amazing. The issue is, it's really an insurance issue, which I hate. I hate insurance. They will say, no, you can't have your medicine, when it's private insurance. No, you can't take 2 pills a day, you can only take 1. But the doctor says I need 2 pills, so then what do? I wish we had a better system for dealing with insurance, but I do think it's more of a problem here. I think if we could figure out what to do with insurance so that we could just get what we need, I think it would be great. I want, especially all of our friends with special needs, I just really want them to be taken care of because they're our most vulnerable, and then followed, of course, by our elderly population. And we know that's a huge population, so the most vulnerable really need to be taken care of. When we were talking about a few years ago with Obamacare and all that stuff, I wish we weren't trying to get insurance for everybody. I wish we were trying to get health care for everybody. I think that would have been a better solution.